Hey everyone, it's Matt from Train Sim Society here, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are well. So we have a brand new free patch update from the team, of course, for release day, for the official release of Train Sim World 5. We've been in early access for the past 5 or so days now, but as of today, as of right now, the game is beginning to roll out worldwide for everyone. It is available now as of 10 o'clock Eastern, I think it is, or possibly even 11 o'clock Eastern for consoles, and then it's going to start rolling out for Steam after noon. So we're going to dive into these patch notes in a minute, but I just need to say my experience with Train Sim World 5 for the first 3 or so days was actually very positive. Of course, in my opinion, still major issues with the lighting, especially on West Coast Mainline inside of the tunnels. It looked really bad. Whatever decent experience I had for the first couple of days abruptly changed, and I don't really understand why, because I hadn't installed anything new into my game. Most of the mods that I had for Train Sim World 4 haven't even been updated yet, so I really haven't even installed any mods. I haven't made any changes to my PC, and now all of a sudden, on any route that I play, within the first 5 minutes, I get a crash to desktop. It just is constantly crashing. It makes no sense, because I feel like I can't say that it is because of Train Sim World 5, because for the first couple of days, everything was perfectly fine, and this just started happening as of yesterday. I did decide to fully uninstall the game and reinstall, so I'm going to give it another shot today and see if things improve. I did verify my game files, so I'm hoping that that fixes the problem, but I just don't understand where it came from, why I'm receiving crashes all of a sudden, and I wanted to bring that up because I know that over on console, you guys are having a lot of issues with crashing. The Train Sim World community page over on Facebook and even over on the forums, there are crash reports coming out of the Swazoo right now for this game, which is really unacceptable. And no, I'm not talking about 8th gen consoles, I'm talking about you guys over on PS5 and Xbox Series X receiving crashes, which shouldn't be happening at all, since you all have the more powerful systems, you know? Alright, anyways, with that aside, we're gonna get into the patch. I also have a giveaway for you guys because of course it is release day, and I did promise you that I would be giving away the game to one lucky subscriber. Of course, that is for helping me reach 2,000 subscribers right here on the channel. So we're gonna get to that last, but first we start with the patch. JD writes over on Dovetail Forums, "Hello folks, please find below details of an update we'll be pushing to players today. We've bolded and underlined some content we think are worth highlighting, including adding improved suspension to the Class 377/2 and West Coast Mainline, and off-route destinations being added to the PAS on Frankfurt Fulda. I do want to let you guys know there is more planned in terms of patching this game. Post-release patches, that is. This is not the final post-release patch. This is just a release day patch. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot on here that I'm like, huh? Or I'm potentially disappointed about because I expect to be on here, but it's not. And that is because there is a lot of stuff that they are saving for future patches, and I have talked about this in a previous video. For example, the light baking. That is something that they are working on, and they actually just started it not too long ago, so I didn't expect to have that in this patch, but it should be coming hopefully within the next month. This is a relatively small update and isn't one of the post-release updates we mentioned on this thread. The teams will be working on that in the coming weeks, as well as your feedback from early access. Thank you for all the feedback you've provided during early access." So confirmation here from JD, this is not the post-release update or updates that they've talked about. This is just the release day updates. I'm just happy to see some stuff here fixed, honestly, because early access has been a little rough with the bugs, I won't lie. Even though I do say I am happy with the San Bernardino line. I think it's actually an amazing route. West Coast Mainline is good. It's okay. It has a lot of performance issues in my opinion, low FPS, lots of stuttering. Thankfully, all of the stuttering issues were mostly fixed when I switched my game from DirectX 11 to DirectX 12 in the launch commands, which I hope isn't causing my crashes, but I also had it set like that for days before my crashes started happening, so I don't understand why that started happening. But yeah, I feel like they need to by default get this game up to Unreal Engine 5 and also get it up to DirectX 12, because performance performance is starting to suffer because of that, and honestly there could be a lot of graphical improvements too, but we know that's likely not going to happen anytime soon, because I'm sure that if they want to go to Unreal Engine 5, they're probably going to have to change a lot of what they've already put out so that it works with it, because I'm pretty sure they built these routes in Unreal Engine 4, so I don't know how easy it would be for them to, you know, upgrade to Unreal Engine 5 with the current routes that are out. So for Core, ensured PS4 and PS5 trophy descriptions and details are localized correctly. This may arrive at some point after this patch, possibly tomorrow for PS5 players. Various localization improvements in training centers. So only 2 fixes here for the Core. For Frankfurt Fulda, we have a decent size list. Trains will now show the correct off-route destinations in PIS. This makes me very happy. This was one of the top reports with early access feedback. Trains with destinations that include ESET now display correctly on trains. Improvements to night lighting around Frankfurt HBF. Adjustments to multiple stopping locations for RE and RB services. I'm assuming that's because they're probably way too close to the red lights. We've had this issue before. Again, I'm just making an assumption because I really haven't had the chance to play too many services on Frankfurt Fulda, but I remember that being a big issue with one of the US freight routes at one time. The stop signal was like way too close to the red signal, and it was like impossible to like come to a complete stop without overshooting and then failing the whole scenario. Added additional foliage around Schlütern. Fixed areas where the player was unable to climb platforms as expected. Yes, oh my gosh, I was doing a conductor mode scenario, Frankfurt Fulda. I was in one of the Dostos cab cars, I believe. I do have to say the conductor mode is amazing, but it disappointed me in Frankfurt Fulda. I drove the entirety of the route in the Dostos cab cars, and I had 10 plus stops. I only checked 4 tickets, guys. That's ridiculous. Like, I was bored. I was practically falling asleep. Like, the platforms are way too empty. That is definitely an issue that needs to be fixed. And also, when getting off of the train in conductor mode, I couldn't actually get off of the train and step up onto the platforms. They weren't the same size as the train themselves, so I was kind of stuck inside and there's no option to climb. So I hope that this is the fix that fixes that. Removed foliage poking through the underpass at Hanau Wolfgang Station. Fixed areas where cars were floating at Hanau. Oh, we better see some floating car fix improvements for San Bernardino, because that was the biggest one. The absolute biggest one on that route. The biggest critique that at least I can think of on that little stretch of highway. So seeing it fixed here, it better be over there. Fixed an issue where the player could fall out of the world near Schlütern. Fixed an issue where platform signs were clipping incorrectly at Schlütern. Fixed an issue where graffiti could apply to the trains passing nearby. It's an interesting bug. I definitely didn't see that one. Fixed an issue where passengers could not exit the Wertheim station at platform 2. Fixed an issue causing shop textures to become blurred, and various localization improvements. So for the DBBR 411 ICET, GNT safety systems will now kick in as expected. At GNT entry Belices, added correct LZB brake curve and set the max LZB speed to 230 kilometers per hour. Fixed headlight configuration at the marker headlights need to stay on when brights are on. So DBBR 114, fixed an issue where the brakes can be stuck on when pushing a Dosto cab car. DBBR 146, updated functionality for acknowledge and release controls in cab. These now trigger in the LZB respectively. I'm kind of sad there was no fix or update here so that there's an actual hotkey now for the Vectron set control speed, because ever since TSW5, there's no hotkey for setting the AFB speed. Now you actually have to pan the camera down, click the button and pan up, where before there was a hotkey for it and it was a lot easier. Please put that back in the game. Find a way to make a key for it because I need it. Wow, I just noticed there is absolutely nothing here for San Bernardino. It's just Frankfurt Fulda West Coast Main Line. Oh my gosh, poor US content. This is happening yet once again. I'm just hoping it comes in like a separate patch like tomorrow or something, or later today. I'm honestly not gonna hold my breath on that, but come on, that's disappointing. Like, you fix floating cars for Frankfurt Fulda, but you can't fix all the floating cars that everybody was pointing out in San Bernardino. Really? All right, anyways, West Coast Mainline, optimized memory footprint for West Coast Mainline route intro when played on Gen 8 platforms. Yeah, there is an issue that I was seeing online Mainline where if you go to the map screen and you zoom all the way in, it causes your frame rate in the game when you don't have the map open to absolutely tank. And in order to recover your frame rate while playing, you go into the map and zoom all the way out. That is definitely a bug and they need to optimize that. They added suspension improvements to class 377/2. I could bet you that the class 350 suspension is not coming for a little while, so I hope you aren't too antsy about that one. Improved shadow rendering at Watford High Street Station, removed incorrect engine ambience audio at Kenton Station, removed floating vegetation at South Hampstead underneath platform stairs, remove areas of snow appearing inside tunnels and underneath bridges, added West Coast Mainline South to the list of UK routes when filtering by country in the main menu, increased speed of unloaders outside of Watford Junction and Bletchley Station, removed areas of rain and snow appearing inside the unloader shed, fixed an issue where line ID boards above tunnel entrances were dark, fixed issues with floating cars about the road around Kenton. Okay, so we have floating cars fixed for now, Frankfurt, Fulda, and West Coast Mainline. So we have no excuse that we do not see this with San Bernardino. Why is that not on here? Fixed an issue where anti-trespassing objects at platforms weren't rendering correctly, and various localization improvements. It's crazy that there's so many fixes for release day. Like, this really shows you like this game is not polished and up to par for release. Like, this was definitely not ready for release. Like, there was still a lot more that they needed to do. Even though it is small details, yes, the cycle of putting out unfinished content, of course, never ends with Dovetail. I am happy that we got these fixes right away on release day though, and honestly, it's probably part of the reason why they do the early access because, hey, I mean, we're paying beta testers at this point, not paid beta testers, paying beta testers. For class 66, there's 2. Rain and snow will correctly show on glass, and wipers will now correctly clean the area. They wipe as expected, and for 1972 stock, it will now correctly appear inside Formation Designer. And as far as the giveaway winner, I have randomly selected one comment from my giveaway video. Dinkle Kong 1013, you are the winner. You have 48 hours to respond to my comment that I replied to your comment with to claim your game code before a new winner will be selected. And again, this is for the standard edition of Train Sim World 5. So I hope to hear back from you soon. If you're watching this video, feel free to leave a comment here and I will be in contact with you so I can send you your game code. Again, you have 48 hours to respond to claim your game code before a new winner is selected. So congratulations. That's going to be it for this video, guys, for the new update. Let me know what you guys think about it below. Were there any fixes that you were expecting to be on here that you don't see, or were you honestly not really expecting an update at all? I'm personally just disappointed that there's nothing for San Bernardino on here because even though the route is good, the scenery is great, it's those darn floating cars. Oh my gosh, I was just really hoping that we'd see a fix for that in this, considering we're seeing fixes for that on other routes. That's gonna be it for me. Thanks for watching, take care, and happy rail simming. Bye guys.